Hey guys, Gene Grays here, and I'm doing another manga talk video for y'all. This time it's kind of on like budgeting for manga. I had a lot of people ask me about that. Part of it, I don't know if everywhere does it, but we do like our income tax stuff, and that's what some people were asking me about why I got so many for this month. Well, that's really about it. That's why I got so many this month. Um, so usually I wouldn't be able to afford that many, but um, you know, getting extra stuff that's just kind of how it is. But I didn't get a lot more. I just I know I got three more boxes or two more boxes than I would have, especially huge boxes. But anyway, I'm going to show y'all kind of what I do. And I don't do this on a daily basis. I probably look over this once a week just to make sure all this. I've done this. This is a kind of a date whenever such and such books are coming out. And I actually haven't used this one for a while because we started getting to the end of it. I kind of stopped, because we're already past that date and everything. That's the last one on here. But I kind of went in and just from ordering from where I order from, because I order from Right Stuff, ordering from them, I know that I'm not going to get everything. So I try and get at least part of the date and then kind of block it out for what I know that they will send me for that time. These are all the books that are supposed to be released on 12/19. That's funny. Yeah, this is old. 12/19 is my birthday. Um, but these are all the ones that were released on that date or supposed to be released around that date. And so I went in and calculated how much our total price was. And as I got the book, I marked it out and lowered this price on another sheet of paper. And that way I knew exactly how much I was spending around. For this time period, I was spending, um, around $190 or so. Some of these other ones are going to be cheaper than that. Some of them are going to be more than that because they had more come out and I already added all the total together. So that's just one thing that I do. I don't do this a lot. I haven't done it in a while. But this is one thing that I do is kind of budget it out, let me know how much it is that I'm going to have, and you just mark it off and subtract what's going to come out the next time. So you know that you have enough with all that. Close that because that's got all my. I keep everything in there related to my manga stuff. And then we have this one. This is really the system that I use a lot. So I'll just show you all how much I spent on this one. This one was $213. But if you look at the date, I actually got most of the stuff back in January 13th, 2017. So this was over a year ago. And some of these I got them, and I got a discount for that too. I like how Right Stuff lists their stuff on there. So I got that, but there were also books I didn't get. So this one, if you've seen the date on it, I accidentally marked through it at one point, but I've probably changed the date on this one like 7 times. I've probably printed this one out a bunch too. So, and that's really what I do is I'll go in and let's see if I have a newer one that I did. And I'll mark out what I've got, and then I'll go back, and sometimes you have to look at it multiple times because the release date will change when you're supposed to be getting it. Like on this one, as you can see here, it went from, we're supposed to get it in March 6th of this year, and then it went to March 29th or 27th, so we were going to get it at the end of the year, or at the end of the month, and now it's all the way into May. So this may change again. I'm not sure about it. This first one up here, with Attack on Titan High School Manga Volume 5, this one has probably changed like 7 times. It's just crazy. That one and my first couple sheets are all kind of like that. $3 arc for Durarara is that way. This one's not that way. I have like one other one. I think I actually got it already. But yeah, that's kind of one of the things I do is I'll go through, and if it's a new one, like if I already know that I have it coming out, I won't go back and figure that out. So this is kind of what we do. Probably at the beginning of the month, I'll go back and look at this again, and well, the beginning of next month, I'll probably go back and look at this again and see if any of them got set back. That way I know approximately what it will come to and what it won't. But everything kind of, some stuff comes out a little earlier, which you can't always budget for that. Let's see, there's more stuff. Whenever there's a code, you always want to use that. So 5% off, even though it's not a lot. I mean, you're saving like $1 on every 2 manga. Let's see if I can find one of my more recent orders back here. Yeah, this is like my last one. So this one I haven't even done anything to it yet because there wasn't anything for me to do to it. This one, I don't even think it's coming out till probably like July. So I didn't go back in and put anything on this because I knew I'd change all those dates. So usually I wait off on some of the other ones. A lot of these are pre-orders. If y'all saw one of my other videos, that was a small box for April, where I got the Kitaro series, or the Dissolving Classroom. Some of those ones I already knew how much they would be altogether, and they already had them in stock, so I didn't really have to. I was automatically to subtract them from my total. So, and a lot of my stuff that I order from Right Stuff, and they already have discounted prices than if you were going to go buy them at a store. And so usually I'll look at Right Stuff and a couple other places at the store and whatnot and see kind of what the comparison price of it will be. But that way I can know if my budget's correct, if I've done certain things. This one, if y'all also one of those other ones, this is all the Cage of Eden I bought, but because I wouldn't have printed this one out, but because Mateki to Volume 2 isn't out yet, I went ahead and just left it on there. That way I could have this sheet with all that stuff on it. And then here's another one. Sells at work, all, up to date and everything. So really, that's how I've done all my stuff for a while now. As you can see, all the different papers and all that. And, it looks like a bunch, but, I mean, we're probably spending the same amount budgeting, or close to it, because if you get an average, Yeah, I've had this forever too. If you've had an average of your manga somewhere around like 10 to 12 volumes, even 15, that's probably about one box that I order. So I'm probably getting about double most people do. But I mean, anybody that does bargain prices, that you can get them off of eBay or whatnot like that. Some of the older ones I have to do that with. That's kind of um, how you can kind of get more too. Um, I know I have a video that will come out here soon at some point. One of our other manga tuber watchers actually asked me. He said, "Oh, I'm gonna sell these volumes. Do you have them in your collection? All that other stuff." And I was like, "No, I don't." I was like, "I don't have any of those." But I've been looking at getting them, and he gave me a fair price and everything on them. And so I have some of those coming in. Hopefully, when they do, I can turn around and give him a shout out, you know, for kind of trickling the waterfall down, giving, well, not giving, but selling me ones that he's already collected that would be harder for me to get, to find and all that other stuff. So, I mean, I'm totally happy to do that for him too. That way, he gets to go and enjoy getting more manga that he wants, different stuff like that. So, it all just depends on your preference. If you're a person that likes to keep them as a collector, if you're a person that just likes to read it and like how it feels reading a book over reading it online and then passing it on. So that's really about it. But anyway, that's kind of what I do for budgeting and everything. Make all print these out whenever I do a new order that's not automatically going to come out. Because that's all my pre-orders and stuff, really. So we have time for any of that stuff to come out anyway. Um, so that's just a couple tricks that I use to make sure how much I'm spending. And I'll go ahead and figure out around what price it is and maybe add another 50 or so dollars to it, just as a cushion. Um, and sometimes I've totally forgotten about that and it's went over the cushion because I've budgeted out for the whole month. So usually I try and do it every 2 weeks. How my paychecks fall, but sometimes you can't figure that out. And anybody that um, works kind of at a restaurant or whatnot, I did that too. I worked at a local restaurant we had here, and I actually had two jobs in the restaurant. I was a busboy, um, and I was a security guard. Not nothing too extravagant with either one of those. I because it was a restaurant venue kind of place. So I would work as a busboy for a little while, and then I'd go and basically like bounce like a bouncer. But security of the situation and everything up in the venue, and that gave me a good paycheck working those two jobs. But sometimes there wouldn't be a show. With the restaurant, I was only working like weekends, so it was a lot harder to have an income that way. And so I was budgeting like really low on a bunch of that stuff when I did that. After I kind of got a better job, I was able to budget a little more into the system, but I only went up probably with my budget about oh gosh, $75 or so, $100 maybe. Just depends, because I try not to put myself in a position where I don't have money for other things, too. Sometimes I do because there's a series that I really want to get that, unfortunately, guys, one of y'all let me know, and I was like, oh, I really need to get into that one, that such and such told me about, and I'll try and get into that series, and so, I'll opt for that, getting that new series over, going on a movie day where I go see like 3 movies or 4 movies in a row or something. You know, different stuff like that. So, but really, that's about it. There's not too much to it. As long as you know like what's coming out. That's one other thing that's good with this list thingy that was over here. I think this is a clean one for that. This is a clean one. It's another good thing to lay all this out, so about when it's coming out. Another thing is, I think I doodle in this one too, so if we see anything weird. This one, I kind of went in and tried to figure out when certain series were going to end. So we already knew that Fairy Tail was ending, and Toriko, and Bleach, Assassination Classroom. My Monster Secret approximately ends at volume 22. So just different stuff in that sense. To Love Ru ends at volume 9 of the omnibus, because it's 2 in 1s. There's actually 18 of them, so that's how we know that there's 9. But it's always good to know how many volumes are approximately in a series, too. Sometimes you can't figure that out, but it lets you know, too, when you'll be able to finish that one and start a new series. Different things like that, too, help. Besides reading manga, doing research is kind of a big part of it, too. You almost have to act like a writer in terms of doing research and everything for what you're enjoying reading. Just stuff like that. But that's about it. I don't think I have any other stuff that I can tell you about it. Just because. There you go, that's when I was writing it on a sheet of paper. It's all kind of crazy on there and stuff too. So, but yeah, that's kind of just what you do. You just kind of budget all your stuff out. You let when, I found my list too. You just kind of let yourself know when all that stuff is. So, that's going to be it for this video, though. I'm Jen Graves. I hope this was helpful for y'all. I know a lot of people thought that I get a lot. And, so this is kind of the system that I use, and I just wanted to show it to y'all so y'all kind of knew how I was doing it, aside from how other people do it. It does take planning to figure out what you're going to get manga-wise. You can't just go out to a store or anything and say, oh, I'm going to get 100 volumes of manga. Even for like a big collector person, if you're not finding it at a cheaper place, a lot of times it's going to be a lot harder for anybody, because you're not going to be able to keep up with that. And I mean, another thing, like, as most of y'all know, when I've told y'all, oh yeah, that's the series I want to get into, but I'll have to add it to my list. I have a whole list of manga that is ones that I want to start, I want to get, but I have to find somewhere in the budget for them to fit and everything. So sometimes I can't start a series right off. And I usually try and, if you've let me know about a certain series, depending on how many books are in it, I usually try and budget off of what I have, and I'll pull part of it out and I'll hold on to it until I have enough, especially if it's a whole series. I know one series that I want right now is, a couple series are Nura, Nura and the Yokai Clan, and Nisekoi, My First Love, I believe it's called. Those are a couple that I want to get, as well as like Black Butler, but I haven't been able to fit those in anywhere, because if I ordered them, I'd want to get a little over half of them or something like that, or buy the whole series. So I kind of have to keep budgeting and budgeting and budgeting to roll that out where I know exactly what I'm going to get. So that's kind of just one of the things that you do, as far as if you're going to get into a new series. I mean, everybody does it for that. So it's a little easier, I would probably say, for me to start a new series and getting it. As far as waiting a month or whatever to get into it or get that one. But I still have to plan out how I'm going to get it. So, but if it was something like my pre-orders, I could go in and add it into my stuff and then calculate it up before then. But usually with most of that stuff, it's already out, so you kind of have to figure out how you're going to automatically get it. Another thing is, check your websites. I mean, fairly often. I'd say probably every week. Like the where I order from, Right Stuff, they almost have a sell every week, if not every 2 weeks. Or a day or something. And you just kind of go with that stuff. You also want to check out your spending thing for them. A lot of times I try and spend at least over $50, because in the US, where they're located, if you spend $50, then you get free shipping. If you're outside, it's 150. So sorry for that, guys. But there are other places. I know one of my friends uses Manga distributors. Some of the other places that are like that, that you can get different discounts depending on different stuff. You could help people that are affiliates too. I haven't done that yet. I've been thinking about it kind of hard, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, you can do a lot of different stuff. And just look at sales, things like that. So I always renew, which is coming up fast. I always renew my membership with Right Stuff too, because it gives me an extra 10% on whatever the sale that they're already having is. So I mean, as long as you can get discounts and stuff, if like if a lot of y'all noticed on my last couple hauls, if it wasn't something new, like a pre-order or a new one coming out, a lot of new ones like the Cells at Work and stuff that I got, they were all made by the same publisher. So They just had a sale on that particular publisher, and I kind of went and got those. I'm trying to actually save some money right now to wait for them to have a couple of the other publishers that I like to get some of their books out. But I'm just gonna have to wait and hold on to that until then. But anyway, again, I'm Jen Graves. I hope you enjoy my videos. I hope you enjoyed this one, kind of to help you know how I budget, and I hope it'll help you, you know, with your budgeting. If you like this, leave me a comment below, telling me, if you think it's crazy, or if it helped you out any, anything like that. If you need me to go into detail any more on anything, I'll try and do that for you. But just let me know. But I'm Jen Graves. I'll see y'all in the next video. All right. Bye.